Assalamu alaikum. So a couple of days ago, we attended the protest for Kashmir at the NRG here in Houston. There were estimated that 10, 15,000 people came. Obviously, it's hard to tell. It's a huge crowd. People came in and out over like a number of hours, but easily thousands and thousands of people were there, which is great, alhamdulillah. But of course, numbers aren't everything, right? Numbers are important. There was clear passion and energy, and anyone that was there, anyone that attended, anyone that saw it on the news would know there's something going on, which is great. But for those who know, they'll understand this, and inshallah, the footage will come out soon. I recorded, a good chunk of that event, so you'll see what I mean once that's released, or if you've seen other clips. But there was 5, 10, 15, 20 different groups that were there, different organizations, which is understandable, right? Because there are different religious-based organizations and different ethnic and racial organizations and different political organizations that came together to put this together. But if you were there and you were walking through the crowd, there was a bunch of different organizations, different platforms, different speakers, different bullhorns, different chants, different languages even. And that wasn't as strong and impactful as it could have been. I really feel that a lot of people there weren't very clear on our objective or on our goal. And the way I see it, in my humble opinion, was that the average American citizen who might be watching the news, who doesn't know much about what's going on in the Indian subcontinent, Kashmir, Pakistan, India, understandably, would get a glimpse, right? Would hear a chant, slogan, get a basic education or awareness of the topic, of the issue, of the challenge, know what's going on, know about the injustice and about the oppression, or at least know that there's something that they need to look into, right? But that comes from seeing a crowd of people chanting one thing. So a related issue was the fact that the majority of the slogans and the speeches and the chants were in Urdu or in Hindi or were in a different language, right? We're not in English. And the fact that we were in Houston, it didn't make much sense. I try to tell many people, but of course the atmosphere is a bit chaotic, right? And people are coming there with their own passions and energies and their own frustrations and their own everyone's kind of like in their own zone, and again, different organizations and so on. But yeah, amidst the chaos, we miss out on a huge opportunity, right? There were speeches in English from people that were very knowledgeable about the topic, leaders in the community, excellent command of the English language, but that was like 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes out of the 4, 5, 6 hours. So I don't mean for this to be overly critical, right? It's a critique more than a criticism. I love the event, I enjoyed the event, and I can't thank the organizers enough. I think we all need to thank them more, and I know they go unappreciated. They put in tens, hundreds, if not thousands of hours over weeks and months preparing this event, and it takes a lot to bring in thousands of people from across the state. There were buses, tens of buses from across Houston and then other cities like Dallas. That takes a lot, and then the signs and the bottles and the platforms and the bullhorns and then managing the crowd and then cleaning up after the crowd. It was insane. So I know that their work goes unappreciated, and I really want to thank them all. They know who they are, and these are people I admire, look up to all the time in our community, young and old, all the above, from within the Muslim community and outside of it. But I'm hoping that this is constructive criticism, because this is not going to be the last time we protest for Kashmir, hopefully, and this is not the last time there'll be a protest or an event for another cause around the world, right? So we definitely could have been more organized. Our organization, our mobilization could have been better. Recognizing, being clear on our objective and our vision, and recognizing that we're trying to appeal to local media. We're trying to get them to carry this message to the rest of the country and to the rest of the world, for them to understand what's going on, because a lot of people aren't aware, right? For that awareness, it needs to be in English, it needs to be organized. We have to have speakers that have an excellent command of the language, that are speaking on the issues, a diverse set of speakers, right? And then an audience that's more receptive to speakers, that allows them to speak, that's also there, and the crowd is organized. So on the topic of media, and on the topic of unity, organization, mobilization, activism, and so on, I wanted to take this opportunity to announce that me and a few of us have been discussing this for a while. I've only shared this with a few, but this is inshallah the launch of a media company, or a media organization, and we want to call it Muslim Youth Media, MYM. And this is an attempt to bring an Islamic perspective or a Muslim's perspective of local and global issues that are affecting us, right? So a lot of the news companies and news organizations and online news sources are coming from a conservative or Christian, Americanism perspective, and they've been there for a while. In the last 5, 10, 15 years, and the last few decades in the US and Europe, we've seen a rise of the secular liberal perspective, humanitarian and quote-unquote progressive perspective. Right? We do our best to read from both sources and to listen to both sources, and I agree and disagree with things on both sides, right? Both the Democrats and the Republicans, the conservatives and quote-unquote liberals. But there is space, and there's room, and there's a need, I humbly believe, for a Muslim perspective, right? What does it mean to grow up in America as a Muslim or a person of faith, really? What does it mean to be a practicing Muslim or someone who's attempting or doing their best to live out the values and principles that our faith teaches us, right? We have a 1400-year tradition, but we also have modernity, right? We all live in these modern nation states, and there are current global issues, right? So how do you wrestle with that? How do you tackle that? How do you present that information? There's so many people speaking about Islam and Muslims, but there's only a handful of people speaking on behalf of Islam and Muslims. So So we're hoping to present an alternative narrative, another viewpoint. We want to add to the global conversation. We want to have our seat at the table, inshallah, by the help of God. And there couldn't have been a better time, right? 2019, we saw New Zealand, we saw Sudan, we saw Syria, we saw Yemen, we saw Palestine, now Kashmir. The issues go on and on. The Rohingya and the Uyghur. 2019 is also the 400th year anniversary of Africans first being forced into slavery and brought to what is now the US. So the beginning of slavery in the US, right? That's 1619, 2019. And with all that negativity and all the injustices and all the oppression that's going on around the world and all the challenges, in that there's an opportunity, right? There's an opportunity to educate, there's an opportunity to organize and mobilize, there's an opportunity to bring awareness, there's an opportunity to share our faith with others, and there's an opportunity to build bridges with people of other faiths and other lifestyles. We hope that you will support us in this. We hope that you will like, comment, subscribe, follow, retweet, share, all the above. Feel free to message us and suggest different resources we need to look into or issues that we didn't see or perspectives we didn't consider. You'll hear from us very soon, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.